Tonight I'll be doing something a little bit different. Uh, I'm doing a more of a side by side comparison. Also, it's more of a double review over different Generation One Soundwave and blasters that have been done over the last couple of years. I want just to kind of give you an idea of what we've been getting as far as G1 goes and some of the different figures and scales that we've received. Um, and hopefully you're going to dig what I'm doing here. So give us a second and I'll go ahead and situate everything for you. Two of some of my favorite characters in the Generation 1 continuity are Soundwave and Blaster. Now, you can see in the background, I do have masterpiece versions. One is Soundwave, and the other is not really Blaster, but his um, resurrected character called Twincast. I think that's Twincast. I can't really remember off the top of my head. That is actually the KFC version of the character. I never did get the yellow and red version of the KFC masterpiece toy because he's actually almost twice as much when I purchased him. So he's kind of just my placeholder, but I love the colors on him. I love that blue with the yellow. So he's going to be my version of Masterpiece Blaster sitting in the background. So you're going to notice really quick offhand that I have a lot more Soundwave figures than I do Blaster. That's not because I love Soundwave more, although I do love both characters. I'd probably have to say I love them equally. Soundwave here, though, has a lot more iterations. You can see in the back there is the official masterpiece Soundwave, which in my opinion is one of the most perfect masterpiece figures ever produced. I don't have any complaints on it except for the thumbs, and I have the same complaints on my MP10 figure because those thumbs just pop off like nobody's business. But anyway, this, as far as I'm concerned, is the best masterpiece figure that has ever produced. And if you're wondering, this is the official masterpiece. This is not a KO, which is kind of different for me because most of the masterpieces I own, other than my MP10 Prime, are actually KOs. This one I found at a Toys R Us when I was still living in Texas, and I picked him up as soon as I saw him, and I never regretted it. He's one of the few masterpieces that I do own that's an official in my collection next to MP10. And this, of course, is the KFC version of Blaster. I don't remember what KFC was calling him at the time. But this is actually, I think, Twincast, which is Blaster's resurrected form. I got him on sale on Big Mac Toy Store. And I have to say, though, the colors on this guy is what initially sold me. Other than the price, I think I ended up paying like around $60 for him. And he came with a couple of Minions cassettes. I'm not really showcasing cassettes in this review, but I wanted to say that this is one of my favorite figures. He just looks so good. He does have repro labels on him, which, if you get these figures, especially something like this guy, you definitely need the repro labels to really make him pop. Going back here, and here is, of course, this is a reproduction This is one of the Walmart reissues that came out a couple of years ago. It's a good reissue. Nothing wrong with it as far as I can tell. I'm not going to spend, G1 money on this guy, but I'm really happy to have him in my collection. I do have a reissue blaster, but I only have one. Back here is I think it's Titan's Return blaster along with Titan's Return Soundwave. I love those two figures. They're not perfect, but, they look really good. I also put Reaper labels on those guys. And I have to say, the Titans Returns with the Reaper labels, that's why I haven't gotten rid of these guys. They look really good with the Reaper labels, especially when they're in alt mode. Over here we have, this is the Super 7 Reaction Soundwave, which is in a lot, it's actually kind of like the Action Master Soundwave. Very limited articulation, not very posable, but they look cool. I mean, they're static figures for the most part. This is the, I think it's what they're calling the Legends class now, from Kingdom. That's a really, really nice looking figure. Next to the original Action Master Soundwave, he's a little shorter, but a lot better looking in my personal opinion. This one here, I actually have two. I had to get two because I needed to keep one in alt mode and another in robot mode. Over here, these two smaller figures, those I actually got at I think it was Dollar Tree. They had these little blind bag figures, but they weren't really blind bag figures because they had the picture of the character right on the package. So, and that goes for both of them. They're really cool. I'm a big Soundwave fan because, Soundwave music, I'm a musician, and he kind of translates really well. Same thing with Blaster. I'm also a big jazz fan, but I don't have that many jazz figures. I think in my entire collection, I only have two. What we have now is the Kingdom Blaster in alt form next to his Action Master. And I swear, I thought I had the Super 7 reaction of Blaster, but I can't seem to find him anywhere. So I need to figure out if I actually have him and if I don't, actually get him. And these two, this is the Netflix Soundwave. He looks really killer. I love this figure. One of my favorite versions of Soundwave. And the Kingdom Blaster. And because I have two, one to display in alt mode and one to display in bot mode, he's sporting dual blasters. Give you the double deuce. So, bury him back out here. Give you a full shot. I really love these figures. The new Kingdom Blaster, side by side with Soundwave, he's a bit taller. Look at him right there. I haven't really played around a lot with him, but oh, I so fucking love him. He kicks so much ass. So I'm really hoping you like this video. It's more of a side-by-side than anything else. Kind of give you an idea of what these look like next to each other. I love Blaster. I love Soundwave. I love them both. Character-wise, they're some of my favorites. I should have thrown some Jazz in there because I love him too, but I don't have that many of him, so it would have kind of looked a little awkward. But you got any questions or comments, leave them for me in the comments box. I'm going to catch you cats on the flip side. Y'all take care. Love you. Latest.